Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man Actual Services. Now, what this is a little window into how some videos work and how some videos don't work. Now, I've been touting for, well, a little while now that I'm going to do a big, massive warts and all, fully in-depth, spoiler-ridden review of Lowry's The Green Knight. A film I was hugely looking forward to. And then COVID delayed it, and then A24, the film company themselves distributing it, managed to just, well, hang on, the UK, we don't care about you. You've got a massive COVID, blight, plaguing your nation. We didn't, time. We didn't. I did a video on this. They denied the UK a theatrical run of The Green Knight. It went round everywhere else in the world. Oh yeah, all North America, Australia, South America, South Australia, South Africa, a lot of South places, and all of Europe. But we didn't get it at all, and it really pissed me off because I was so looking forward to it. I loved the story, and I did a video describing how much I love the story and how much I couldn't wait for this film and how am I going to get to see this movie. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I have seen it now, and I've seen it 3 times. I love it. I do love the movie. So here's the review for you right now, folks. Here's the non-spoiler review. I love it. I think it's awesome. It is visionary. It is fantastic. It is fabulous. It is imaginative. It is also brilliantly open to interpretation, which so many people don't like. And this is the thing about it. People don't like to have to use their own imaginations and work things out for themselves. They want things spoon-fed. Now, I'm not knocking anyone for that at all. That's the way things are. And I like films where there's a nice, strong, linear narrative. A beginning, a middle, an end. Some character arc, but nothing that's any great shakes. They're action movies, they're thrillers, they're horror movies, but there's a bit of an arc there. And you get that resolution and you feel happy. You've been rewarded. That's great. But I also love movies that don't do that to you. That don't spoon feed you. They don't give you everything written there on a plate. It's all there. But you've got to interpret it and work it out for yourself. Use your own imagination. And there are myriad different variations on what you think you've seen. When you go away, you think, well, that didn't make any sense. And then you sit back and think about it. Oh, hang on a minute. Well, maybe it did. Anyway, so I'm basically saying The Green Knight is absolutely fucking awesome. But many of you will not like it. And many of you, I already know, don't like it because I've had some communications from a lot of people who despise it, and I understand why. I definitely get that, and I'm not knocking anyone that doesn't understand it. I'm not saying, oh, we just don't get it. That's not the point. You either like this sort of thing or you don't. It depends on the treatment. It depends on the way it's produced, the way it's directed, the way it's written, the visuals, what you get out of it. And this is a film which pretty much lays itself in a completely abstract way from a well-known and well-told tale and just takes a bit of a slight new angle on it and just lays it out there. So I love it. So there's my review, my very quick review. The problem I've got is, excuse me, is that I've been dying to do this review, but since I touted I was going to do this, and then New Year's happened, and a lot of other stuff's happened, and I thought I'd steal an hour here, and I thought, because my wife, Mrs. Kilt-Man, and my daughter have nipped off to Asda, I've done a day's work, I've took the dog out, and I thought this is perfect. I'm playing the soundtrack to it now. You probably can't hear it right now, mainly because the washing machine's running as well, just over there. And I really thought, I'll get this done. But this is where it all goes wrong. You try to snatch moments here and there, and they just don't work. Because I tried 3 times to get this review done in this little time schedule, this time slot, and the phone rang twice, so I was distracted. Oh shit, gotta answer this. Damn it all! And then I thought I'll sit down and do it now, and I was like nice and cool and collected, and I managed to massively fuck it up. I think I did about 10 minutes into it and like just lost my track entirely. And this is what happens to you folks. I don't edit things as well. It's plainly apparent to all and sundry. I just fly by the seat of my kilt, and sometimes it works. I think most times it does work, but sometimes, like today, I just go off on a tangent and I forget where the hell I was going with it, and then I just lose the impetus completely, and I was massively in full spiel about something great, and then just went, where am I going with that? And then you go, I'll get stop, delete. And you've just done like, what could be half an hour of video, which has gone absolutely nowhere. Now I know there's tons and tons of YouTubers out there which will just, what they would do is just edit that together. That'd be great. I can't do it. I still can't do it. Look at the age that I am now, and I've been doing this for years, and I still can't work out how to edit stuff together. And the thing is, I don't think I even want to do that. I just like that stream of consciousness. I like that unstoppable sort of barrage of opinion and ideas, and just go off on tangents. Normally I can always come back again. I always find my way back, negotiate those massive imaginative segues that my brain and all its impulses just go off on, and I can still wrestle it all together. But this time I couldn't do it. I failed, and it's pissing me off because I really wanted to get this review done. And I'm so looking forward to talking about this film because I know it's got like an audience dividing, critic dividing sort of quality to it, and I want to address all that and try to make people who don't like it sort of see the other side of. I'm not trying to coerce people and say like, oh no, you're wrong. You're not wrong. You don't like it. You don't like it. It's the way it is. All I'm going to do is try to put forward the idea that there are different ways of looking at this movie, and what it's trying to do is something which you perhaps didn't expect and you don't like, and that's completely fair dues. I absolutely embrace that. I mean, Christ, there's so many films which people around me love and revere, and I cannot stand. But you've got your reasons why. But I love to hear people's arguments as to why certain things work, but you didn't view it that way, and that kind of makes sense to me. It might not change my opinion, but I do take on board what people say about things and like why. I didn't see that. Yeah, that's quite right. And I might watch it again and try to look at it with that perspective. It still might not work, but sometimes it does. And I do a massive sort of swing shift on it. I did it with Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds adaptation, which initially I despised with a vengeance. I thought it was a despicable waste of my time, a tease that gave me nothing apart from wallowing in post 9/11 trauma. And I didn't want that. I wanted War of the Worlds. I wanted H.G. Wells, and I wanted Carnage, and I wanted a light show. I wanted Spielberg unleashing Saving Private Ryan, but with Martians. I didn't do it. And I reviewed it as well on AV forums. I'm sorry, some of you probably heard this tale before, because I reviewed it on AV forums back in the day when I was like a big reviewer on AV forums, and I hated it. And then a couple of years later on, it came. I think I reviewed was it just the DVD maybe, and then it came out on Blu-ray, and I watched it again after not having seen it for a while, and I saw it, and it wasn't because of the Blu-ray and just the advanced quality. It still looked crap on Blu-ray because it's filmed that way. It's filmed in such a horribly sort of grainy and washed out sort of way. That's what Spielberg was doing. And but it didn't matter. The film was a different movie to me, and whether my sensibilities have been changed, I don't know. But I loved it, and I've watched it many times since, and I do. There are errors, the things I don't like about it, like why the hell the aliens have already, been in the ground, and then they send the pilots down, and that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. But I can take that and just go, okay, that's a bit I don't like. But it's not about the spectacle. There's a great moment in War of the Worlds where Tom Cruise's son Robbie wants to climb the hill. And all the army are going to charge over the hill. You can see the light show across the top of the hill. You can't see what's happening, which is what pissed me off when I first saw it. Like, we want to see that. And Robbie's lines are, he says, I want to see this. I've got to do this. And like Tom Cruise grabs it, it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't need to see this. And he's like, but I do. I've got to fight. We've got to fight back against them. We've got to do this. And that's what made the film completely change for me. I suddenly saw it from a different perspective, and it made a really, not just like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, I get it now. I get what he's doing. It made a real, massive, heartfelt, huge change of emotion, and it blew me away. And I was reduced to tears. I was. It's a very emotional movie. It's because it's told from a family perspective, a family point of view, a dysfunctional, broken family who don't get along, but suddenly, throughout the course of trauma, they will learn to bond and look after each other, and characters will change. Tom Cruise's character changes. So it works for me. And when I see it now, that line about you don't need to see this. I do. Whereas initially I was like, no, we want to see it. We want to see it. Spielberg, I want to see, a world at war with aliens. I want to see this carnage and laser beams and destruction. I want to see all that. And he denied us that, apart from the aftermath, burning trucks and bodies floating down rivers. But he didn't really, apart from the initial scenes of the laser beams, the heat rays, incinerating people, going into ash, which is very traumatic and very exciting and very horrifying. But it also, he then denies you that for the rest of the movie, and it becomes anticlimactic in so many ways if you want spectacle. But if you want emotion and you want a true story of people caught up in events like that, oh my God, it actually works so supremely well. And I saw it in a whole new light. I thought, oh my God, yeah, I was so wrong. I was so wrong. But again, I'm saying there's no wrong or right in interpreting movies. There's just how you view something. Did you enjoy it? Did you find something of worth in it? Did it tell you something? Was it just escapism? Christ, most of what I talk about in my view is just pure escapism. They might have some great grandiose ideas, but basically it's a lot of escapism. But sometimes there are ideas hidden away in that. And because we're all a bit more savvy now to movies, savvy in some ways, that we want something which is groundbreaking, something revolutionary, something that's going to tell us something and change our way of life, change our mindset. We want that, but we also want just cheeseball crap comedies, rom-coms and Fast and Furious, because that's part of it. That's part of it. But I think it's wonderful that a film can change your opinions and your ideas and your outlook, especially about itself, so profoundly. And with War of the Worlds, that's what happened to me. and I now absolutely hold it as a masterpiece, a flawed masterpiece. There are elements which still, to my mind, don't work, but the emotional content still is, well, as I've since found out, absolutely incredible. Now, to come back to The Green Knight, which I still haven't reviewed yet, but I'm going to. See, what I'm doing, I'm snatching this moment because I know I can't do the full review until maybe later on, or maybe even tomorrow. That's the way it's going to work out now. I've just snatched this moment, and I've fucked it up a couple of times, so I'm just going to talk about it because I'm in the mood to talk. But The Green Knight, I know so many that despise it. It wasn't what they thought. Well, I know the story, I know the poem, I know the whole thing very, very well. I also knew what this film was going to be like before I saw it. But because I was denied seeing it in the UK for so long, I inevitably read reviews from other people and on forums, and I could gauge how, Christ, a lot of people despise this, but a lot of people love it. And I love things like that divide the audience, because that means there's something to it. There's something definitely sort of maybe intangible, which affects some people but doesn't affect others. But if it can provoke such, polar opposite emotions, despise it, hate it, fucking love it, well, there's something there. There's got to be something there. So when I did finally see it on Amazon Prime in the UK, finally, and I saw it, I've watched it 3 times now, and I love it more each time I see it. I completely understand why some people don't like it. I can see it. It's so obvious, But I love the abstract nature, the imaginative nature of it, the leave it up to your interpretation. I love that. That doesn't always work. This film could have been done by somebody else with the same intentions, and it could have completely fallen foul, even of me. But Lowry, who directed it, gave such a great spin on the tale, on the poem, which I'll discuss in a big proper review, that I think works. For the version he's telling, it works. His subversion, his subtle changes of the poem, actually, we say poem, it's not a poem, but they're called poems. It's by anonymous, an Arthurian tale of Sir Gawain or Sir Gawain meeting the Green Knight, and destiny and fate. It's different in the poem, it's different in the sagas of the Arthurian folklore, but this film tells a different version of that. And whether you like it or you don't, it won't leave you too quickly. It's going to stick in your mind, and you may think, fucking Jesus, frustrating, what was that? That's 2 hours, 10 minutes of my life completely wasted. I'll never get them back. So many people have said that. But also so many have said, like, God, this film absolutely blew me away. Every second of every minute I was entranced, I was mesmerised, and it made me think. I lay awake thinking about it. I love that. Films can be throwaway, they can be disposable fodder, just cinematic or videotaped or digital media, streaming, whatever, escapism. That's great, and I absolutely adore and totally endorse that sort of thing. But I love films that come along once in a while that do challenge what you think they were meant to be, what your interpretation was initially meant to be, or so you thought, and then it completely just reversed it, undermined your thoughts, and just cleverly deconstructed all your ideas about this particular story and the characters involved. Well, I thought they'd do that, but why? It's frustrating that they didn't do that. Why didn't the director I'd done it differently. Analyse why you think they should have done it differently. Analyse why you think it should have gone a different direction. What is saying more about you, the audience, or the director, the creator? all got a part to play in these sagas. You know, because one of these now, back in the old days, what would it be? It'd be in caves with cave drawings, yeah, and then we learnt language and we'd tell tales. We'd sit around a campfire and tell stories. That version of mythology and storytelling has gone on for eons, and the ballads, you know, the songwriters would sing the sagas of knights, of heroes. Homer would write it all down and then it'd be interpreted again and again and again. Movies are just what we have now. We've had theatre, we've had live action, we've had animation, we've had all sorts of things to depict stories which tell us, well, escapism on one hand, but also real life truths, history, whatever we've gone through in time immemorial, and how we're meant to adapt that and, you know, make our lives better. There's a huge spectrum here. I think what I'm trying to say in this massively rambling sort of fashion is that the Green Knight seems to embody all of this storytelling, history, interpretive vernacular, imaginative sort of ambivalence, and leaving an audience to try and work things out for themselves. Don't treat them like kids. Let them see enough of what you're saying, and the director and the screenwriter may have that this is what I'm showing you. This is what my story's about, but I'm only showing you this, this, and this, and then you can interpret it. I love that. That's clever. If it works, it's clever. And there's many other films like that as well. There is a film which the Green Knight does remind me of. It's a Malpertuis, a great, is it French? I'm sure it's French. 1960s fantasy, which has a lot of variations and interpretations about what the hell is going on in it. And you got Joe Dorowski and you know, the Holy Mountain and all that, and you know, oh god, you got lots of crazy warped out shit which is out there, which you either like or you loathe. But either way, these films should not be ignored, and the Green Knight fits into this long-standing tradition of films outside the mainstream spectrum, and storytelling which does not fit to the conforms. Arthurian legend and folklore is very strict. It's a knight going on a quest. He must fulfill certain chivalric values and come up with the goods at the end of it. And there's a message to us all, and that's wonderful. I love pretty much by and large all the Arthurian sagas. And all the ancient Greek ones as well, and the Roman one, and all that. I love all that stuff. But the Arthurian ones do bring in a lot more of what is genuinely historic and folkloric tradition. Wales, Scotland, Ireland, you know, little people, giants, fairies, witches, you know, green men. There's one here. What did Tolkien do? Tolkien brought in his own green man, or green knight as it were, with Treebeard. So there's a long-standing tradition of this, especially with like English literature, be it of a supernatural nature or be it of historical sort of pastiche. It's all there, and the Green Knight from Lowry is a new embodiment of that spirit, of that craziness, of that abstract nature versus religion versus Christianity versus tradition. The whole thing is convoluted and all boils down to, does one man have the courage of his convictions, or is he just a normal man? None of us are great. We all have elements of greatness to us. We all can be good. We all strive to be the best we can be. Well, we don't always strive. We might dream of it, and there's another important aspect. We dream of being great, but do we actually ever even make any steps to fulfill that? And then at the end of the day, does being great actually make you all the more worthwhile? Isn't just being good, and that's a big point in the movie as well, isn't just being good enough? So, this film, which I've talked massively around the houses about, massively obtusively about, because, funny enough, I could have reviewed the film actually right now, because the people I was expecting to arrive and curtail this have not yet arrived. But this is what I'm talking about. It's the abstract nature of life. This is just what happens. You might think you're going down this path and you're going to be thwarted. So, I won't do that. So I'll go down this path instead. When really, you could have done it in the first place. But at the end of the day, it's all worthwhile. All the journeys you make in life, whichever tributary you take, are always worthwhile. And this film, when I do get out to covering it, will encompass that sort of larger aspect, that greater canvas of existence. I know I'm talking a bit like sort of like, wow, Christ, Kilt-Man, get to the point. You're talking about something which is, and there's the washing machine beeping at me now. Make your point. And that's the problem that many people have with the film The Green Knight. They're going like, what's the point you're trying to make? Well, the video I have now just delivered to you in its own weird, abstract, sort of unformed, unplanned sort of design is exactly that. What is the point? It's a discourse, it's a conversation, it's a rumination on many, many things. And the film encompasses all of that. And that's what life is. Life is like that. Nothing is firm, nothing is set, nothing you might want to be the valiant knight that goes and charges out there and saves the day. But then you might horribly, in a fit of drunken rage, beat up your wife a couple of weeks later on. That's what life really is. I don't know a single person that's ever stuck to his guns or her guns and been saint, an angel all their lives. I don't know. I know everyone. I know everyone I know has done great things and done bad things. I mean, there's a huge spectrum there, but no one's a saint and no one's a demon. And this film does bring all this sort of idea to the fore, and I love it for it. I love it that it's got my mind ticking over something. Really, I'm energized now. Although I can't really talk about the film because I'm just rambling, but it has a perspective which you can take to everyday life, and that's why some people perhaps don't like it. It does not give you an answer. Everyday life, everything you do, you might think there's an end result to it, but rarely is there ever. You trudge through your daily life, your weekly life, your existence. You go to work, you do this, you do that, you go shopping, you do whatever. You have a routine. What's the quest that you go on? We all seem to want that quest to go on and become something, to learn something profound and come back better and then be revered. And we all want that. We all want to be idolized and revered. And please don't come back to me and say, oh, I don't. We all do. We all do seek in some way or another some kind of admiration from other people, some kind of peer respect. And but that's not all. That might be, you might do that once. You might do a charity run and you might raise tens of thousands of pounds for cancer or the Cats Trust or whatever. And brilliant. But then you may kill somebody in a hit and run the day after you've done that. It's life. It's life. It's the convolutions of life and existence. We're never going to all be, the champion. We're all going to fall from grace at some point. The level of magnitude might be minimal, but we're all going to do that. And I think that's what this film has made me think about a lot. And I love it for it. I love it because I love the way it encapsulates what life is. And I know, I understand people just want to see a film and just be wrapped up in a story, and then at the end of it, hey, enjoy that, and then right, let's go and have coffee or a croissant or whatever. In my case, let's go back to the pub and drink more whiskey. But in my case, a film like this makes me want to go and drink whiskey and then discuss what did you think about it, but then you get oh, I fucking hated it, and you go, really? Why did you hate it? And the reasons might be very, very legit and very powerful and heartfelt. And I might agree with some of the reasons. But then you go well, yeah, but did you think about this? And did you think about that? What do you think about what it's trying to say to you? How did you interpret that scene? And what that theme of this particular creature, a fox, means? And did you not realise that the mother was also in the... we'll come on to all this. And I love that. I love that debate, that discussion with people. And their interpretations are not wrong. They're not wrong. I'd be hard pushed to find someone and go oh yeah, you're talking complete bollocks now. That is fucking shite what you just said there. Listen to me, I'm right. I'm not right. All I've got is an interpretation of certain things, and I totally respect, or try to respect, other people's opinions too. And if anything we can take away from this movie is that that's what you should do. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a way in life. Everyone has a course, a trajectory, and you may fall from the main path maybe many times. But what you realise at the end of it, whether you realise you were a complete and utter swine, or that I tried my best and I still failed, I was following the wrong path, and only at the end did I realise I was wrong. This is what I'm saying. I know. I'm almost, this is almost purposely a video where you're not getting a resolution, which is kind of a warm-up to what the film is. I didn't set out to do this, folks. I did not set out to do this. I snatched what I thought would be an hour to get the review done, and it didn't happen. I screwed it up myself. So now, because I wanted to talk, I've now talked massively around it and through it. I've penetrated its themes and everything, and kind of glossed over a lot of things, but the actual thrust of that story, of the Green Knight, Sir Gawain, the full proper pronunciation, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, I've put it across to you now as this maze of emotions, ideas, interpretations, and personal crusades. We all undertake them. We all undertake on a day-to-day basis, and for right or wrong reasons, you can fail at every given turn. Does that mean you're wrong? Does that mean you've made mistakes? Yes. Yeah, it can do. Does that mean you can't do the right thing the next day? Exactly. And then do the wrong thing the day after that? That's what it's all about, folks. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. I've been playing Daniel Hart's surprisingly brilliant and emphatic score for the Green Knight behind all this. You probably haven't heard it because I've been waffling, waffle, and but I am going to do this proper review. But but for now, non-spoiler review. It's awesome. Go watch it, and then we'll talk properly. so many people watch 10 minutes, 20 minutes and go, oh shit, I can't have any more of this. It's not what I thought. I would only argue with that is that, like, you know, you've got to give things a chance, really. If it's a film of 138 minutes length, then you've got to, something else is going to happen. I know, but there's plenty have gone like, well, I watched all of it and I fucking hated every minute of it. It didn't do anything at all. It did nothing. And there's a post-credit sequence as well, which won't really help you out. I have an interpretation of that, and I'll discuss it, which is what I think is what it's all about. But anyway, folks, I have been, always shall be, Kilt-Man. I shall always persecute you with my perambulations of absolute, ridiculousness. But there's something in there. Within this video, there's a nugget of truth. And if that's all you can find, or you just laugh at my freakish eyebrows, which my daughter thinks are so, because the beard's growing and it's going very white. It's gone very white now. And like the eyebrows are kind of like this kind of spooky sort of thing. And they do, I only have like half eyebrows. They should come down here. I want scouse. I want like, you know, the scouse girls go out clubbing it with a monobrow and all that. But they've got these penciled on, fucking thick bastards. I've always wanted eyebrows. Because I'm a ging, although it can be quite dark, it just depends. But my eyebrows are like blonde. They're blonde, and but they stick up like that. They do this little demonic sort of thing. Look at that, like a warlock. But my daughter always gives me down the banks. You got freakish eyebrows. You look they're weird. I know. Anyway, folks, I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. Please do check out the review for The Green Knight when I do put it out there. Maybe tonight, but probably tomorrow, because I've talked enough about it now. And any second now, I'm going to be disturbed, which is the reason why the full review did not get done. So anyway, folks, please keep it Celtic, and love the green. The green is life, as we'll find out. Green is nature. Green is where we should all belong. And we're all going to go back to green. So, green is the way. So, anyway, folks, please be happy, be safe. And I am going to see you all. Seek me out. 6 nights' ride to the north, and I will strike the same blow that you struck to me. Don't fucking go. Can't end well, can it? Or can it?